This recipe is going to show you how to make meatloaf volcanoes. So first you need 5 pounds of ground beef. Got that in the bowl. Then we're going to use a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of parsley, one-fourth teaspoon of garlic salt, one-fourth teaspoon garlic salt, and a fourth a teaspoon of regular black pepper. You could add whatever other spices you put in your meatloaf if you want, but this is just, you know, basic spices. You don't need a bunch. You don't want to overpower the meat or anything. Just need a little bit of spice. I'm going to put 1 egg in it. And about a cup of mozzarella cheese. Just get shredded mozzarella cheese. And put about a cup in there, shredded mozzarella cheese. Then we're going to mix it all together. You'll also need ketchup and some beef gravy. You can either make your own gravy or buy a jar at your grocery store. You can use either. And then we're going to mix all this up. You need a casserole dish to bake it in. Have your oven preheating at 365 because this will bake for about an hour. Want the meat so it's done to at least 165 degrees in the middle. So that usually takes about an hour. Once you get this all mixed up really well, then we're going to make our little volcanoes. This is just a fun way to make meatloaf for kids so they have individual meatloafs. So then we're going to come over to our casserole dish. Just going to make our meat into big size balls, like the same size ball that you would do to make a hamburger. So we just put them in there like that. Get them all put together. A 5 pound of ground beef will make about 8 volcanoes. That one's a little bigger than all the rest of them, so that way they're about the same size. Then you make a nice hole in them with your finger, or you could use a wooden spoon, but your finger works just fine. Just keep the ball together. So you have a nice hole in the middle in all of them. This is the volcano part, because in each one of the holes you're going to add either gravy or ketchup. Some people in my family like ketchup on their meatloaf. Some people like the gravy. So we're going to make 4 with ketchup, just like that, and 4 with the gravy. I have a bowl of beef gravy. I'm just going to put inside the holes, just like that. So it runs down into the hole. Make sure it goes in there. So all that gravy will season the meat from the inside out, so will the ketchup. So once you get that done, put it in the oven for an hour to bake. I also peeled potatoes, got them over here, so we're going to make mashed potatoes with our volcanoes. All you do is just peel your potatoes like you regularly do and boil them for 25 minutes and mash them to make mashed potatoes. I usually serve mashed potatoes with my meat volcanoes, so I cut up about 5 pounds of potatoes and put it in water with a little bit of salt, and we're going to boil them for 25 minutes and then mash them. Halfway through baking, you want to cover your little volcanoes with aluminum foil, because we don't want the top of them to get too crispy. Put them back in for another 30 minutes. I have my potatoes up here boiling to make mashed potatoes to go with our meatloaf volcanoes, because once the meatloaf is done, we put the mashed potatoes on top, and then the ones that have ketchup in the middle of the meatloaves, we put ketchup on top of the mashed potatoes, like a volcano. And then the ones that have gravy in them, we put gravy on top of the meat, the mashed potatoes at the end. These need to boil a good 25 minutes so they're nice and soft and you have no lumps in your mashed potatoes. A good way to tell if your potatoes are done, put a fork in them, and if it falls right off, that means they're soft enough. See how they just fall apart when you try to stab them with a fork? Try to stab this, see how it falls apart? That means they're ready to mash. To make my mashed potatoes, all I do is put 2 sticks of margarine in the bottom of the bowl and about a cup of milk. And then we'll start beating them up. And if they're really thick, then you add more milk. If not, you're good to go. So I kind of mash them down a little bit before I turn the mixer on, so I don't get everything flung everywhere. You see how the butter and the milk's mixing together too. Then we just turn it on low. Start in the middle, work your way out. And just keep blending your mashed potatoes till they're nice and smooth. Once they're done, out of the oven after an hour, take them out of the grease that they made while they was cooking. This is my rest of my gravy here. And what you do is take one, we'll do the ketchup one, take one, you put it in a bowl, Put a spoonful of mashed potatoes on top of your volcano. Then you put a little ketchup on top, just like that. And there you have your Meatloaf Volcano. Now, if you want one with gravy, get one of the gravy ones, put it in a bowl. Spoonful of mashed potatoes on top. Then some gravy on top of that. And there you go. This is the gravy Meatloaf Volcano, and this is the ketchup Meatloaf Volcano. I hope you enjoyed the recipe for Meatloaf Volcanoes. Subscribe to my channel for more easy, fun recipes. This is just a fun way to make meatloaf, and kids like it this way because it's just fun. It's a meatloaf volcano. Please like and subscribe to my channel for new and different recipes. Also, check out the videos on my YouTube channel of all the books that I have available and all the other recipes. Have a good day.